Shadow. Want to go to GameStop with me? I want to get Nintendo 3DS.
Silver. Shut up. I'm trying to meditate.
Fine. Sonic, want to go to GameStop with me?
Not right now, Silver. I'm thinking of a new move. Silver, get the door.
Fine. Who are you, and what do you want?
My name is Zack. I am Aaron, and I am Zack's friend. We were wondering if we could stay here.
Wait, let me guess. An idiotic bee burned down your house. Am I right?
Yeah, although it was not pretty. Our house! What happened to our house?
Fire, 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 fire. It's so awesome.
You burned our house! That's it. Time to die.
Shit.
And that's all. So can we stay?
Sure you can stay. But I have to ask my friends. But let's go in the living room first.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll call them down. Sonic! Shadow! Get down here!
This better be good, Silver. 'Cause if it's like the time that you blew us up with a bomb, then I'm going to kick your ass.
Please, Shadow, it's nothing like that. I just wanted you to meet my new friends. They're going to stay here. Let me introduce you to them. Shadow, Sonic, this is Zack and Aaron. Zack and Aaron, the Shadow, the ultimate life form. Also, there's Sonic, the fast one. And I'm Silver,
the mentally retarded one.
Shut up, you'll never be the man like your mother is.
Shadow, you just got owned by Silver. Shut it, Sonic, before I kick her ass. I'm quiet. Good. Anyway, nice to meet you guys. Yeah. It's nice to meet you too. Yeah. Well, anyway, Silver, go show them to their rooms, and then both you and Sonic come back here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyway, be right back. Well, Zack, this is your room.
Thanks, Silver.
No problem. I'm going to show Aaron to his room now.
Okay, see you later, Silver.
Here's your room, Aaron.
Thanks, Silver.
Well, I'll be going downstairs now.
Okay, see you later, Silver.
Okay, see ya. Okay, Shadow, what do you want with us?
Oh, just this.
Holy shit.
Damn. Silver, if you own me again, I'm gonna rip your head off. And Sonic, I just plain hate you.
Ow, how did I not see that coming?
Ow, how did I not see that coming?
Stop stealing my fucking line!
A lot of publishers catch heat for essentially regurgitating the same games year after year, but perhaps no franchise is guilty of this more than Pokemon. Establishing its formula over a decade ago, it's essentially stuck to its guns ever since. That's what makes Pokemon Black and White such an interesting prospect. With more tweaks and twists than any game in the series before it, just how brave has Game Freak become? Like all the games before it, the story in Pokemon Black and White revolves around a young boy or girl leaving home to travel the land and become the ultimate Pocket Monster champ. The subplot is a little more serious, though. In stark contrast to most antagonists in the franchise, Team Plasma's agenda involves freeing Pokemon from their man-made prisons and letting them roam free. It's surprising that Nintendo would tackle such a touchy topic, and even more shocking that it would place players in the role of the bad guy. Unfortunately, it never goes beneath the skin. Pokemon trainers simply brush off Team Plasma's PETA-like position because keeping creatures inside balls makes them happy. There is an opportunity for a good story here. It just never materializes. Pokemon Black and White is an absolutely massive game. It took us well over 40 hours to complete the first time through, and that's with catching around 100 of the 156 brand new Pokemon. For those who can't fight the urge to catch them all, you're looking at serious value. And considering there are a lot of new Pokemon that we actually like this time around, the compulsion to collect them can be strong. The game's basic structure revolves around entering a town, talking to a couple folks for clues, and then heading out in search for the town's gym, where you take on the leader in hopes of winning one of 8 badges. While the campaign's main events play out in a linear fashion, you're essentially free to explore large portions of the map and proceed at your leisure. You'll reach some impasses where you'll need a particular move to go forward, but otherwise, you can roam the fields and forests, collecting and battling to your heart's content. Multiplayer has received a significant amount of attention. Every time you boot up the game, you're asked if you want to launch C-Gear, which is essentially a persistent online state that allows you to jump in and out of the online functionality at will. The much maligned friend codes are used to match up with people you know, but you can also battle with random players if you choose. With some Pokemon only appearing in either black or white, you're going to have to trade with other players to snag them all, and C-Gear provides the most seamless and hassle-free way to do it yet. One thing worth mentioning is that keeping C-Gear enabled will have an adverse effect on battery life. Even if you're not into battling, there's plenty of content loaded onto this card to make it worth a purchase. Once the campaign is complete, there's a bevy of post-game content to explore, and there's a pass-by feature that lets you share information with other players wirelessly. It's difficult to find another DS game that gives so much for the cash spent. Pokemon is essentially a turn-based RPG with 6 character parties that relies on a rock-paper-scissors system to determine strength of attack. Intelligently building your team of monsters to be able to handle any opponent is important when battling humans. But in the campaign, there are far too many road signs pointing to the exact type of creature you need for each stretch of the game. It's far too easy. You can build a single Pokemon strong enough to tackle just about every opponent in the game. While the need to grind is kept to a minimum, it doesn't make play any less aggravating at times. Random battles with the same Pokemon pop up far too often, and having to watch each monster into the fray before being able to run starts to grate by hour 20. While the random encounters have remained an annoyance, there have been several other adjustments that help tremendously. Pokemarts have been moved inside the Pokemon centers to make buying and healing a one-stop deal. And you'll even find random characters strategically placed inside dungeons that will heal your creatures without having to run all the way back to town. It makes a huge difference. The way EXP is distributed has also changed. Now monsters get more if they've toppled a higher level opponent, essentially diminishing the toil of getting a lower level creature up to speed with the rest of your team. You can also use TMs as many times as you want, which helps build the squad you truly desire. And the addition of seasons limits your access to some areas and Pokemon. The battles themselves have received the least amount of attention. There are new triple battles where each trainer has 3 monsters in the fight, but they play out basically the same as before. The order of your Pokemon affects damage taken and which enemies you can attack, but that's about it. The new rotating battles are a little more successful because they allow you to swap in creatures that are higher on the rock-paper-scissors food chain. The problem is that neither is used more than a few times in the campaign, so adjusting your overall strategy to compensate for them is pointless. If you've played any prior games in the series, the gameplay in Pokemon Black and White will feel incredibly familiar. There have been a lot of slight changes that seasoned veterans will notice more than casual players, but many of the core issues and aggravations remain. Pokemon Black and White features a mashup of 2D and 3D visuals that is hit or miss. The game almost makes a point to show you that some areas are modeled with polygons, but considering their low quality, it's not the right call. It can look charming and then crude within the span of 30 seconds. The few pre-rendered cinemas that are included look great, but appear far too infrequently. The Pokemon themselves follow the same simple art style as before, which is to say that they look horribly pixelated up close. At least they feature more animation than before. The music is the highlight of the presentation, with plenty of catchy tunes that manage to sustain its considerable length. The battle cries for each creature aren't quite as successful. It seems like it's always the same song and dance with the Pokemon series, but Black and White has seen more changes than any prior sequel. Yet when you're 30 hours into the campaign, all the adjustments don't change the overall experience much. It's undoubtedly the best in the series, but it still feels like a Tyranitar in many regards. If you enjoy deep RPGs and you're looking for a great time killer, or just ask a lot from your video game purchases, you can't go wrong with Pokemon Black and White.
I hope you're ready for a beating.
Putting the tap-happy iPhone version to shame, the mightier, far more faithfully realized Super Street Fighter IV 3D Edition marks the latest salvo in Capcom's blitz on the portables. It's an impressive downscaling of the console original, with a few additional features to boot. The new over-the-shoulder fighting mode and Street Pass-driven figure-collecting side games showcase the amusing, if not gimmicky, capabilities of the hardware, along with local and online multiplayer that thankfully forego friend codes for a smoother, simpler solution. At the core of the package is an admirable recreation of the console hit, though one that just barely fits into the system housing it. The enormity of Street Fighter's complex and demanding control scheme spills over into customizable touchscreen move loadouts, a sheepish supplement to the inadequate handling afforded by the 3DS. It's perhaps less of an issue for those looking to just throw a few Hadokens around, but more discriminating players are definitely going to feel hamstrung in some way. The 3DS rendition of Super Street Fighter IV is a smart adaptation that looks, functions, but most of all, plays, just like the genuine article. If you can live with the compromises it makes with controls, then it's a solid pick, amid a lukewarm lineup of welterweight launch games.
We can expect fireworks!